Good afternoon everybody and welcome back to another video from here at Effingham Golf Club. It's been a while since I posted the last one, but we have been incredibly busy and we still are incredibly busy. So one of the strangest starts we've had so far to the year of greenkeeping. We started off with that very cold February, of course. March sort of played ball a little bit. April then became almost drought conditions and incredibly cold. So to give you an idea, we put on 2,500 cubic meters of water in cold conditions in April. Now, being that we're high up and we face north, that really starts to set our grass backwards. It can't be helped because it also was drying out, so we needed to give it a drink. So we were between a rock and a hard place with that. So we weren't really doing the right thing, but it's something we had to do. We then, of course, went into a very, very wet May. Over 100 mil of rain in May. And then followed by a drought near enough first half of June. So it's been an incredible year to try and greenkeep for sure. We're sort of getting there now a little bit, but as I said, we're high up and we're a slow start here. Traditionally, we only ever really get going towards the end of May up here, but we do have a longer season. It does go on longer, but that's where we are at the moment. So what's the offset for this? Well, the grass is doing strange things this year. So as you're all aware, we've seeded heavily. We have Poa greens, predominantly Poa greens. We are trying hard to get the bent in there, but it is very difficult at the moment because the Poa is such a strong grass. It will dominate, and it's gone into a heavy seeding, probably the heaviest seeding we've seen for a long time now. And it does that for protection. So because of the year it's had, it thinks it's all over. I say it's a bit like a dog eating its dinner. It thinks it's the last meal it's ever going to have, so it woofs it down. And the grass is similar. So it's gone in protection mode. So it's trying to get all its seeds out. It's trying to protect itself. It thinks the end of the world is here, which it almost felt like not long ago. And it goes in this massive seeding. And this is where we are at the moment. So how do we cope with this? Well, we can use a growth regulator, which is a chemical we can spray on, and it basically slows the plant up. The problem we have with that, if we do that too early here, because we have some old traditional Poa that will sit very tight on the greens and causes our bumpiness at the beginning of the season. We've still got the bent grass we do have takes off. That would freeze it into that picture. So we could end up with bumpy greens for a lot longer than what we do. So we have to be very careful. We actually need the greens growing first before we apply our growth regulators, PGRs. If we do it too early, we will freeze the greens into that snapshot. So we don't want that. We want all the species to be growing, and then we can pin them down as we've done this year. Our other plan of attack is verticutting, and this we've done this 5 times already in near enough June. So very heavy verticutting session going on now. We will carry on doing this verticutting and trying to fin this Poa down a little bit. Green speed comes with lack of traction or friction. The more grass we have on our greens, the slower they will be. It doesn't matter what height of cut they are to a point. Height of cut does play a part, but if you've got very dense sward like we've ended up with this year with the seeding, then the greens, we lose pace on them. So we have another tool. We have the roller, of course, the true roller, the ironing as you know it, which we're doing now. We're into the competition season. But the real element is to try and thin the greens out, is try and get the grass off the greens. Sounds mad, spend a lot of money, a lot of time trying to grow grass. But it's not just the greens that's affected, it's all the grasses in the rough, the grasses on the fairway. You'll see stalks, ryegrass stalks appearing on the fairways. This should be happening in end of July, beginning of August, or during August. We're seeing this in June. We're seeing all the grasses in the rough is flowering. It's put its seed out already. So it's a very strange year. I say the grass is well ahead of where it should be. How the rest of the year is going to pan out with this, I'm not sure, because we are fearing late July, early August conditions in the middle of June. Something that's not been experienced for, well, probably in my career, that's for sure. I don't think it's anything too concerning to worry about. We've got a few tools in our boxes now. We are getting growing. that we can get a few bits sorted out. Other than that, hopefully it'll be a pretty normal year. It's rained last night, which is a great help. The rain's obviously full of a lot more nitrogen and what we're pumping on from the reservoir or the irrigation through the irrigation system. So we do get a pretty good pickup from that. Our next big issue is going to be obviously the leather jackets and chafer grubs, which will be a summer problem. We're seeing a little bit of leather jacket activity. Nothing like some poor golf courses are suffering from this year. It's been horrendous for them. We're just keeping an eye on it. We've used the chemical Acelepryn, which helps with it. We've got to prove that, so that's down. And we'll see what we get out of it. It's not guaranteed, of course. It's one of these problems with the loss of our chemicals and maintaining these golf courses at the moment in time. But other than that, yeah, we're into a season where I'm at the moment. I've just walked up the third fairway. You can see all the grasses behind me, the roughs up around there to the green, of course. Quiet day today, a very bit unusual. It's quite nice. We're getting plenty done, of course, jumping in on the gaps we've got. So it's nice to see. And of course, we're into competition season now. So it's very intense for the lads, greenkeeping. The rain's going to really help. All that work we've done on fairways in the past. Unfortunately, the bad start, losing that cold, dry April set us backwards. So if we can get a bit of rain through the summer now, we've got a chance of filling in some of these fairways a bit more. So yeah, like I say, it's a strange year, but that's the joys of playing golf, I'm afraid, on an outdoor environment. So take care everyone, I hope you found that useful, and I'll catch up with you soon. Cheerio.